Please excuse the hair, it's been quite a weekend. Hey everyone, my name is Max Aaron James. This is a review of the movie Strays, written by Dan Pearl, directed by Josh Greenbaum. It is about a dog named Reggie who is abandoned by his owner, left in the city, and while out there and becoming a stray, Reggie comes across a few other dogs and they make a plan to get revenge on Reggie's former owner. A lot of the visual humor was already shown in the trailer, which makes sense. You're trying to market and advertise, get people to come. And so, in dialogue enough when it comes to a movie is not always enough. So a lot of that humor is already shown, and when presented in the movie, you see it coming and it does not hit maybe as much as they anticipated or the way you expect, even with watching it or connecting it with the rest of the movie. Aside from those scenes, there's not much visual humor. A lot of the movie is just the camera being set on dogs who are trained and told to stand or sit in one position, and then the animation over their mouths will be done later along with some voiceover work. So a lot of this movie is just that, so it does not really connect or bring as much entertainment visually. Again, you're just watching dogs standing or running around in one position, in one place. However, the dialogue throughout is pretty funny, even though it does kind of slow down going into the final act overall, and it felt like they were running out of jokes. But overall, the movie's pretty good, especially at just over 90 minutes, which is the sweet spot for comedies like this. It's a fun movie. You do notice that other dogs, when they are not the focus of a scene, are just waiting for their cues, looking around in certain directions, probably at someone who's, has a treat or, signaling them to stand, sit, run around in a certain direction, so on and so forth. Even the lead or whatever the camera is focused on, the animal that the camera is focusing on, that dog is glancing. You could tell they're looking in one direction towards whoever's commanding them or telling them what to do. And it just became bothersome for me. It is difficult to have the dogs or any animals as the leads, especially when, they're not necessarily acting in the same way as humans or as we do. And there's not much, if any, facial acting, right? Facial expressions and be able to present something comedically through the facial expressions. It's not there. So you're going to have to rely on the voice acting and the fluctuations in their voices throughout the movie, and again, it's a lot of audio more so. With that, Will Ferrell and Jamie Foxx are pretty good. They're really funny. Jamie Foxx and his character are meant to be the primary comedic relief, and they bring that. I know a lot of people don't know that Jamie Foxx used to do stand-up comedy. If you don't know, now you know. Will Ferrell has some funny moments, but his character kind of complemented Jamie Foxx's character. Because there's a lot of work on filming dogs, and still there's a lot of good dialogue and funny quips, jokes, punchlines, and unexpected humor throughout the movie, this movie would probably be really entertaining and really fun to read as a novel. Honestly, they should probably make it into a novel because, again, it's funny, and our imaginations may do a lot better as far as the visual entertainment and the facial expressions of dogs than actually trying to see it and film actual dogs or live dogs and expecting them to try to give some expression or excitement. You have the wagging tail, you have them running in a circle, but there is not much aside from that, especially when they're looking at each other and talking. You could tell they're just set there. And I think a couple scenes, they weren't really looking at each other. I think they just placed them like post-production. Movie was a fun time. I was entertained. I left out happy because, again, the dialogue was really well done. This story is a good story, and it was a good idea and concept. I think the execution is just the biggest challenge. So I won't put that entirely on the filmmakers because I don't know how I would necessarily make this as entertaining as a visual medium. Still, you could probably wait till streaming, to be honest. Until next time, y'all take care of each other. Make sure you check up on one another. Make sure you check up on yourself. And remember, potential has no limit.